All right, I have some wild stories that will show you the real on the ground effects of Trump's tariffs that went into place overnight. I mean, this one says quite the sentence in the New York Post this morning. Quote, a small business owner in Boise, Idaho got the shock of his life when he realized President Trump's tough trade measures meant tariffs on stock that he'd ordered jumped from 26,000 to $346,000 overnight. Quote, the 34-year-old married father of a toddler and a newborn said he didn't vote for Trump, but had been cautiously optimistic when he'd won the election, hoping, quote, we'd be in for a business-friendly environment. Obviously, he didn't vote for Harris, so now I'm sure he's going to sour on the Trump admin very quickly. And we have a bunch of stories like this. Actually, I have quite the exciting video for you today because I went and I found a bunch of stories of people complaining that Trump is nuking their portfolio, is hurting the economy, is hurting their businesses, and this is not what they voted for. But after that, I'm going to bring in an electric candidate for the mayor of New York City that is talking about how Trump is raising prices and how he'll lower prices. I'm incredibly excited for this conversation, so if you want to help me out, make sure you drop a like and make sure you watch until the end of the video to meet ZOHRAN Mamdani, who is running for the mayor of New York City. But let's start here. You are destroying the market, says this person. This isn't what I voted for. If things don't turn back around soon and the markets get clearance, I'll be voting you out, and I'm sure many more will be doing the same that voted for you this term. I don't know how you're going to vote Trump out. Maybe he means in the midterms he'll vote, but this says, at Real Donald Trump, thank you for bankrupting me. I supported you. In fact, I voted for you in all 3 past elections. Now, because of your ill thought out tariff policy and the needless market crash you brought, I am insolvent and my life is over. Why did you have to do this? Someone said, I've honestly never been so disheartened or disappointed in someone I voted for. You have single-handedly crushed my investment account that was doing so well. I'm a hardworking, middle-class person with 4 kids who you, sir, have royally screwed over. Thanks a lot. And I know that there's a lot of irony in these posts and that people always comment, don't feel bad, don't feel bad. But when I hear of somebody who very well could have just been my cousin or my aunt or my uncle who went down the wrong path politically, when I hear somebody struggling like this, it does make me feel bad, for sure. Someone said, I voted 3 times for you. I am the stupid one. This is the opposite of what I voted for. How could you cut the California State Library grant? How could you do that to those of us at the library who voted for you? This one's not even about tariffs. This one is about something completely different. You're turning your back on us. People had to be put on leave. Classic case of not caring until it affects me. How could you side with Russia when Putin told BRICS his goal is to bring down our economy? Not what I voted for at all. Fix this. Someone said, at Real Donald Trump, I want to believe there is something positive from all of this, but when so many people who voted for you are without a job, is America really great again? When will Americans feel whole again? Someone said, I work for an oil company. I don't like this. I voted for you, but maybe I'm regretting it. Biden was horrible, but this is equally as bad. We have some more. What about this one? I feel saddened and disappointed. I voted for you, Mr. Trump, and I heard the Senate and House will cut federal benefits that I faithfully worked for and earned these past 34 and a half years. I was relying on the benefits to retire in September, and if these pass, I won't have enough money to live. Well, Nan, you can join the protests and the town halls that have been going on. Feel free to join the resistance if you really feel that disillusioned with Trump. But yeah, Nan, if you want to join the resistance, we will stand here with arms wide open. Now, I'm excited for this next portion because I want to bring someone in who is running an electric campaign for the mayor of New York City, and his platform is focused on a few things. Mainly, just lowering costs for working people. No culture war distractions, no chaos dressed up as tough talk. I mean, he's running against Eric Adams, but he doesn't even bite on that. He just wants to talk about lowering costs. So I think this would be a great interview to place in this video. All that I ask is that you scroll down, drop some blue hearts, and make sure you're subscribed so we can continue being the fastest Gen Z growing political channel on all of YouTube. Check this out. I am joined today by New York State Representative ZOHRAN Mamdani, who is now running to become the mayor of New York City. How are you doing today, sir?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me.
So I want to start a little bit wide, then we can zoom in on New York in particular. But really quickly, what would you say to Trump voters who voted for him because they wanted lower prices and now all they're getting is economic destruction and higher prices on a daily basis?
I would tell them what we can all see, which is that they've been betrayed by someone that many of us knew to be insincere, but someone who still has preyed upon the fact that too many Americans and New Yorkers as well have been unable to afford the basic staples of day-to-day life and have now found themselves even further priced out of their day-to-day by an economy that has taken money out of their pockets for seemingly no reason at all.
Yeah, and you've burst on the scene with this really explosive digital media campaign, right? But you actually know how to get stuff done as well. I was doing some research, and you helped deliver a free bus pilot in Albany. I want to know, what did that teach you about what's possible with progressives in power? How do you scale that power as the mayor?
I think that's what's so exciting about being the mayor of New York City is that you have the ability to actually deliver that on a scale that meets the needs of 8.5 million people. I've been serving as a state assembly member. Now I'm in my third term. And as you were saying, one of my proudest achievements has been winning that free bus pilot. We made one bus route free in each one of the 5 boroughs of New York City. We saw ridership increase by up to 38%. Assaults on bus drivers dropped by 38.9%. And we saw the most significant increase in ridership from New Yorkers making $28,000 a year or less. So it had economic relief, it had public safety benefits, and it even had environmental benefits as well as people got out of cars and got onto public transit.
And those are real tangible improvements for people's day-to-day lives, especially at a time when inflation's been pretty bad and people are living paycheck to paycheck. Just to pivot a little bit, when education cuts begin, they already have begun, but as Trump begins to hit education hard, what's your plan to protect schools in New York, especially public schools?
It's critical first that we actually fight back because what we've seen from our current mayor is opting for surrender instead. And there's been this implicit message in it that if we were to not critique Trump, if we were to simply let these policies take hold, it'll actually better protect New Yorkers in New York City. And what we've seen, in fact, is it's led to New Yorkers being disappeared from the lobbies of their apartment buildings. We've seen the federal government steal more than $80 million from a New York City bank account, and we've seen no kind of protection that we have been promised. And what that actually shows us is the possibility of fighting back instead. And I think about, there's a town in New York called Sackett Harbor
Mhm.
where you have a population of about 1,300 people who live there. 1,000 people of that 1,300 showed up to protest when a mother and her 3 children were detained by ICE. And after that continuous pushback, ICE actually released that family. And it just shows what we could win if we start to fight back at a much larger scale.
Yep, and we're seeing a lot of we're seeing democracy in action right now. It's really cool seeing all the protests, all the town halls. People are having their voice heard. Are you also kind of disillusioned with the Democratic Party right now?
Yeah, I would say that I feel a sense of disappointment. And I think many Americans do because there are too many within our own party who are understanding power as purely a technical thing, that the next opportunity to win it is at the midterms, when in fact power is won and lost every single day across our country, especially in the narrative that underpins all of it. And we have to remember that what Trump does, he does it partially based on a foundation that it is a popular message. And if we don't contest that message, then we cede the ground entirely. And even now, when you think about Doge and all of these, cuts that are really ripping apart the federal government, they're being marketed as if they are attempts at, ending waste and fraud, when in fact what they are is a billionaire backed assault on working class Americans.
Yeah, and throughout all of this inflation, throughout all the veterans being fired, Elon Musk and Trump are so insulated from all of this that it makes me mad. I guess something that I'm looking for in the Democratic Party are young political knife fighters, people who can kind of punch back metaphorically. And that seems to be you. Can you give me a little bit of insight on your digital strategy so far? Because I see you popping up all over my feed.
We believe that politics has to be direct. It has to speak directly to people's lives, the concern that they're living through, and the medium has to be the same. And social media allows you the ability to speak to New Yorkers without an intermediary. And from the very beginning, we have been intentional about not simply having this as one part, but investing the time and effort and money into ensuring that we can finally break out of the bubble of New York City politics and get into the world of New York City. And so many New Yorkers, no matter their age, are living on their phones and finding out about their life and their world from their phone. Why shouldn't we be there telling our story for a more affordable New York as well?
Now, do you have really good social media instincts, or is it like a really good digital strategist that you have, or a mix?
It's a really good team. I'm very
Uh,
lucky to be one part of the team.
It is a solid team. All right, just to wrap this
Yeah.
up, I just want you to just give me your vision for what a more progressive New York City looks like, where people that are currently living paycheck to paycheck see results under a Zohran administration. What do you see this looking like?
It's a city where people can do more than just spend 24 hours worrying about whether they're going to make their rent or pay for their groceries or their childcare or even their Metro card. And we're going to deliver that by freezing the rent for close to 2.5 million New Yorkers, by making the slowest buses in the country fast and free, and delivering universal childcare to every New York family, whether their child is 6 weeks or 5 years of age. And ultimately, the entire agenda is built off of a North Star of a relentless focus on an economic agenda and making sure that this city is not just one that's built by working class people. It's not just one that's sustained by working class people. It's one where working class New Yorkers can afford to keep calling it their home.
Amazing. All of Zohran's social media links, websites will be in the description below. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much, man. This has been such a pleasure.
And best of luck.